The lighter side of pest control. This is Tales from the Crawl Space podcast with Jack and Nick.
Hey, welcome to Tales from the Crawl Space podcast. I'm Jack, and everybody's favorite no-assed victim of federally funded titties over here is Nick.
Hello.
The sultry-voiced phone number reader. So we're going to have to make that a habit so Brad can get his jollies.
Mm-hmm. We need to do that for him. He needs to get off somehow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, he does. Our topic is pest control myths, which we've got some really good responses from Facebook for myths. I have a few of my own, and Nick, I think you said you have a story to share too.
I have a story that's unrelated to myths, but it's going to be quite a funny story. So it's still developing, but we'll figure it out.
Oh well, let's hear it. I want to hear it. What do we got here? Okay,
so Friday morning, wake up, kind of groggy, fuck this. I don't want to go to work. Every Friday I'm like that. Actually, every day I'm like that. But I opened the back of my truck. I got my water jug in the back of there because we don't have like the big old tanks in our trucks. We just do backpacks, BNGs, all of that. So filling the thing up, about to fill up my water tank, and I see something move. What? I'm like, that had to be a napkin or something. There's no fucking way. So I fill up my water tank. I put it back in my truck, and then suddenly I see little mouse, and it runs right back into the back of my truck. And I'm like, there's no fucking way this thing came to me, the harbinger of death. I bring death to your kind, sir. So I was like, well, I don't really have any time for it right now, so I'll get it taken care of. Got in the back of my truck, blah, 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 headed on. Didn't even really think about it until I got home, and I kind of remembered about it. And I'm like, well, let me kind of check to see if maybe it's nested somewhere in the back of here, it's even been in the back of here. And I was looking for my truck, and I see where a contract block had fallen out of its container.
Mm-hmm.
And it obviously had been chewed on in there. So I'm like, well, I guess that's problem solved. I went ahead and set up a couple snaps in my truck, in the back of the truck, just in case I could catch something in there. I think he either ran out at some point or something like that, or he just ate that bait and it's killed him. So if I notice a nasty smell coming from my truck in the next few weeks,
yummy.
I think I'll know why. So if I do find his body, I'll let y'all know, and I'll post a picture of him up in the Pest Control Humor Depot.
Oh yeah, we got to see those pictures, definitely.
Yeah, because I was just like, really, dude, you can't. I guess it's probably why he came in the back of the truck, because he probably smelled the contract blocks back there and just was like, "Ooh, I can eat good."
Yeah, it's brave. I mean, I've had bees and other things fly into the back of the truck. I'm like, dude, anywhere you land is going to be bad for you.
Yeah, no, it's never good. Not a good thing for you.
No, not at all. Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to updates on that.
Yeah, I didn't feel like cleaning out my truck this weekend, but I'll because I just cleaned it out, so I'll kind of poke around there at some point soon and kind of look at it, see if I can find it.
Find a little bloated dude curled up in a corner.
Yeah, my tummy hurts.
Well, I tell you, pest control myths from as told by pest control professionals. I had a feeling we'd get a good response for this, and we did. But and there's a couple that kind of mirror my own ideas and all things I run across. But I mean, you've had people that, I put cinnamon out for the ants. And hell, last week I found a house that had voles, and the guy put out coffee grounds and hot sauce.
Yeah, I saw you posted that. I was like, maybe they get super caffeinated and they also get hot sauce in their eyes, or I don't really know. Yeah,
I'm not sure, because it wasn't working. That guy had spider webs across his lawn from the voles.
Yeah.
The snow we had up here had laid for so long and without melting. And the voles were just working between the ground and the snow all over the place, just eating the grass as they went. So, yeah. I've had more vole jobs over the past week and a half than I've had in a long, long time. But
we don't usually deal with those too. I don't deal with those too often around here.
Yeah, well, we don't treat moles. I think if we have a landscape and lawn service as part of the company, we're not one of those pest control companies that try to start doing a lawn service like a couple of the religious cult pest control companies do, where what they do is they'll give you a lawn service, charge you for a soil test, and then give everybody the same damn service no matter what it is. It's like you get a custom pair of shoes, but they make you wear the box, you know?
Yeah.
Well, see, we got Kenneth W., who goes, you can't kill spiders because they don't groom themselves. Oh, no, you can kill them. You're right. They don't necessarily groom themselves, but you can definitely kill them. I'm a big fan of, like, when we have the funnel spiders that grow on, like, the boxwoods and stuff in the spring and the summer. I'll go through and I will lightly mist all the webs as I'm walking around. In my experience, and talking to an entomologist friend of mine, spiders like that, the trapping spiders that take their webs down and rebuild them, what they do is they eat that web. And the protein goes right back to the spinnerets as opposed to being metabolized. So if you lightly miss the web, they'll ingest the pesticide. Because those little funnel weavers, as soon as you get anywhere near there, start jiggling around that web, they're back down to the center of the bush. So yeah. But Kenneth W., can't kill spiders because they don't groom themselves. That's a good one. That was a good first one when I first put the post up. Robert A.A. He puts his, or Robert A., but has his middle name in there, so I'm not sure how to do that. This bait will cause the rats to leave your house in search of water.
Yeah, I've even heard technicians say that one before.
Yeah, I've heard that ever since, I was even told that when I first started doing general pests after I was doing termite for years. And, it's an anticoagulant. They don't go around getting thirsty. They bleed out from the inside. Mm-hmm. So, no, I mean, I can, maybe they might get thirsty. I don't know. But I also think it's a little nicer to say it that way. As opposed to, your mouse is going to bleed from the eyes and the ears and the asshole and the penis.
That's usually what I tell people. They bleed from the asshole. Blood shoots out of every orifice of them.
Oh, yeah. It's like a little blood lawn sprinkler. It just comes out everywhere.
Yeah.
Let's see. This can of Raid, Kendrick W. says, this can of Raid works better. You're just spraying water. Do you see how quick that roach died? Well, look. If you want to go through and undo everything I've done with a little aerosol can of junk that you got at Home Depot, you go right ahead and you'll be calling me back after you've run the roaches into the walls and they've doubled in number and start coming back out when the stuff you put down wears off.
Yeah, and with that Raid, I mean, you're just suffocating them. That's all you're doing.
Yeah, it's just, and you're stinking up the house. And I mean, I believe me, I like stinking up the house. I'll tell you, orthene was fantastic for roaches, but orthene smelt like ass on fire, wrapped in wet cardboard and covered in shit. Yeah. That stuff is nasty, but it works. Works fantastic, and it stinks up a house. If someone doesn't think you did something, go in there with orthene aerosol and spray just a little bit, walking through the house and fiddle around somewhere for a minute, come back out, they think you really did a good number on them.
Yeah, be like, oh man, he really did spray well.
Someone, James W., says, my quartz-activated wasabi keeps the ants out of this room. I think enough wasabi will keep anybody out of anything.
Yes.
Believe me.
Oh, I had my girlfriend try to trick me into eating some wasabi. She's like, you need to try this. And I was like, okay. And I was like, I kind of looked at it and I'm like, that's wasabi, isn't it? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. I will try some of it, but I am not taking a whole big thing of it.
Oh, hell no. I mean, I love sushi. Oh, man, I love sushi. And I'll put some wasabi in my soy sauce, but man, I can't eat it straight like that. And I guess it's repellent enough. If it burns my eyes, I guess it would burn an ant's eyes too. But I'm not sure I want to put wasabi all over my house. And quartz activated. How do you? What do you like? Say some words and bless the priestess and say, put a rock in front of it. What do you do? How's that work?
Something like that.
Okay.
So that's actually making me think of when we got a couple comments about the mothballs would deter anything from Martin A.
Oh yeah,
I love that one. Like you'll be going around and like, it smells like mothballs out here, and you just see mothballs all outside someone's house and in someone's house, and oh yeah, this stuff works great. Deters snakes and stuff, and I'm like, kind of. I mean,
it smells like old lady in here.
Yeah, it smells like old lady. That's all you really get.
Well, I'll tell you, I think Elvis, the big black snake, under my porch, had a girlfriend that had babies because I had a bunch of little black snakes in my dirt floor cellar. Now, I'll tell you, mothballs are naphthalene, and naphthalene can go from a solid to a gas. So I can see how it would make things distasteful for a snake that goes around tasting the air as it goes.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it would be kind of like if I were to have Taco Bell and beer and fart in a small room and let you sit there, that you'll eventually be able to taste it. And I would think that would probably make you want to leave the room.
I don't want to find out, but I bet it probably does work that way.
So I think maybe that might be something.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it can help, but the people that just swear by it, yeah, no, it's not going to be a one-all catch-all for everything, and it just ends up stinking up the house.
Yeah,
stinking up the outside.
Yeah, outside, it's like wearing a mask by yourself while you're driving. It's kind of worthless.
Yeah.
Which ones do you like on this list? What's one of your favorites besides the mothball one? I've got David Q says, my favorite, roach-infested buildings with filthy tenants. I'm bringing or feeding the roaches. No, they were already here.
I've had people say you put roach eggs in there.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I carry a Ziploc bag of them in my car, in my work truck, just for that occasion.
Mm-hmm. I actually had a maintenance guy ask me that one time. He's like, so do y'all plant roach eggs in there? And I'm like, I don't.
No.
I heard a guy about from a competing company that someone who listened to his podcast, now he's the one who told me the story. This guy would go around with a fake snake in a glue, or a dead snake in a glue board.
Ugh.
And like go up to people like, oh, I found this, blah, 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 blah. You need to get a snake away treatment or a snake service, blah, 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 exclusion service. You got snakes out here. Right. He got found out about it and got fired for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I tell you, I'm a horrible salesman. I've never, claimed to be a good salesman when it comes to pest control. But I remember one of the religious cult companies that told their sales kids, which were the ones that were going around knocking on doors for their cult reasons, that you tell them, you walk up to the door and go, hey, I'm from blah, blah, blah pest control company, and your neighbors have been having pest problems, whether they have or not, and are you seeing more inside or outside? And they try to catch people going, well, inside, because they don't give them an option to say no, really. Then that's their foot in the door. It's kind of shady, if you ask me. I have a hard time selling stuff to people who either don't need it or can't afford it.
Yeah, no, I don't ever believe that, and that's part of the reason I left the retail industry, and a major reason I left GameStop, because, oh my God, that's all that was selling to people who didn't need it or couldn't afford it, because I worked on Two Notch Road in Columbia, where it was poor shit city out there. Right. I mean, you got people who could not afford stuff at all, and it's like, oh yeah, you need to be selling them more and more and more of this, and I'm like, they don't need this shit. They don't need this crap.
Right.
They don't need it. That's fine.
Well, I tell you, I mean, you can pay $75 for a game, stand outside of the store for 5 minutes, and take it back in, and you'll give them $14 for it.
Not exactly true, but yeah. It's the people that would be, get mad that you didn't get money back. And it's like, you bought the game new. It says in the receipt you can't get a return for it. Don't be an idiot and just buy it brand new. Like, especially like, let's say Assassin's Creed. Mm-hmm. Never buy an Assassin's Creed game as soon as it comes out, because in Christmas time it's gonna be $30. Yeah, it's gonna go right down to $30. Don't buy it then. Just don't wait on it. It's fine.
As opposed to the stock, which went through the roof here a couple weeks ago, a month ago.
I'm so fucking pissed. I never bought stock in that company. I kick myself every day.
Well, you'd never think it would do that, but
I never thought it would hit that high again. I never thought it would hit that high.
Yeah, well, I would have been like, sell, sell, sell.
Yeah, I would have. Oh.
I have stock in Moderna and Pfizer, so I'll just let that ride for a little bit. It already went up like 100%, so I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I have one here. Will W. says, I had a customer say in front of his very churchy wife, if the queen ant lays all the eggs, is it just a big gangbang in there? How's this work? Yeah, I don't even want to think about that.
That just made me think of a story of bed bugs where I was doing a bed bug inspection. I was kind of talking to them, and she's like, "Oh, I've been, having nightmares about bed bugs and blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I've had those before. You work in this industry, you occasionally get freaked out." I think any pest control guy you ask, that's probably the thing that would freak you out the most is bringing bed bug home. You don't want to do that; they're terrible.
Right.
But she was talking about I had a nightmare the other night that I had rats. And they laid eggs on my feet and crawled up my skin or something like that. And I'm like, rats don't lay fucking eggs, you dumbass. But I couldn't say that because I like being employed.
Are you going to spray for mice?
Are you going to spray for mice? Yeah. The last guy did. Okay.
Yeah, let me know he sprayed because that's a new one for me.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh, do you see that Brad chimed in on that on our thread?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. And what do you have to say?
Bleach down a drain will get rid of gnats.
Of course it will. It's that special bleach that sticks to greasy residue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what I do like. Liquid Plumber's Foaming Pipe Snake. That's
what I usually tell people is something like that that's kind of foam up in there. But I'll have people, no, I'm going to pour bleach down there. I'm like, okay.
Well, you go ahead. Yeah. Josh T. says, diatomaceous earth is a cure-all, and using our services is a waste of money. Okay, you go ahead and use little tiny skeletons of diatoms and tell me how that solves all your problems.
Yeah.
That's the hippie stuff. Or, what was it? A 6-year-old, Seth H. I had a 6-year-old tell me that fire ants can set your house on fire.
You know what? That would be a good way just to tell people, oh, God, I guess I should get your fire ant services. Sign me up, please. Right. I think that's one we should spread.
The larger the colony gets, the more heat they generate. If you get a real big colony inside the walls, they can set your house on fire. That's why they're called fire ants.
Yeah, because the friction of them going back and forth in their lines and everything like that.
Oh, yeah.
And the gangbang with the queen ant creates a lot of heat.
That's a lot of friction, yeah.
A lot of friction.
Well, this next one reminds me of something that happened with one of my technicians when I was with the second largest school system in the country for pest control. Thomas R. says the yellow tab on the mousetrap has a pheromone on it to attract mice, which is the reason why he didn't bait his mousetraps. Well, I had this guy, let's call him M. I'm sure he's not listening or even knows about the podcast, which is fine, but let's call him M. M thought that little yellow piece on the expanded trigger Victor snap traps was supposed to mimic cheese. So he wouldn't bait them. He'd just set them out and wonder why they wouldn't work. But this is also the same guy that, because mice, when they run around and do their business, they leave a little bit of number one or number two, and, they can follow their trail back. It's like leaving a trail of cookie crumbs, except it's ass crumbs. But he was telling people that if you get those little Glade plug-ins, that Glade plug-ins will keep the mice away. But that kind of segues into something else that we got here, and something I feel is interesting. And this is a long story, but it also has a YouTube video that I saw. Now, I'll tell the YouTube video I saw was a guy that had this test box that had one hole to get in and out of, and had 3 different types of bait or food stuff, like sunflower seeds and stuff, in this box. And he would set this little, like, night vision camera above it. It had like a plexiglass lid on it in a dark area. And these mice were going in there and eating all the stuff out of it, and did that for a week. Mm-hmm. Now, then what he did is he took the lid off and he put these little natural mint oil, like not really a diffuser, but like a little wicking mint oil thing in it. And then closed it up and let it sit for a week and recorded it every night. The mice would get to the opening and turn around and leave. Mm. And I've always believed, it's always worked for me, is like if I have a house that has like really little kids or pets or whatever, and they've got mice issues, I'll put bait in inaccessible areas, but they're like, well, the mice are getting into our silverware drawer or our junk drawer. And I've seen that before. And I'll tell them, get a thing of cotton balls, get a Ziploc gallon freezer bag, fill the bag full of cotton balls, and pour peppermint extract in that bag and mush them all around until the cotton balls get mint on them. And you put one in the back of your drawer that you've been seeing mice droppings in. And once you sanitize the drawer and you put this thing in there, you generally don't see mice droppings in there anymore. And that kind of proves the rule with mint and mice. But Tom D. goes, I once had a call at an apartment complex for ants. I got to the unit and was immediately assaulted by the smell of mint. The people who lived there had Googled big black bugs, in quotes, and found a treatment that was to mix baby powder and toothpaste and spread it on the baseboards. Now, I'm going to stop there for a second. Baby powder and toothpaste. Who the fuck?
Clean them bugs up.
Oh, yeah, minty fresh breath. The people must have used 10 full tubes of toothpaste and had it spread on every baseboard in the 3-bedroom unit. Surprise, surprise, I found a couple pavement ants near the patio door, and after scraping off the toothpaste, concoction, I baited, and they took right to it. My kids still think that's the funniest story I've ever told. I'd remember that one if I had to go take a spackle knife to get all this toothpaste off your baseboards.
I know what it is.
What?
You said it was baby powder?
Uh-huh.
It's Johnson & Johnson, the talcum powder.
Yeah?
It's going to give them cancer. They're going to slowly die from it, and it's going to kill ants.
Oh, yeah. And you need the toothpaste as a carrier to adhere it to the baseboards.
Yeah. And I think also the fluorine in the toothpaste will also kill them, too.
Yeah. I can see that. That damn fluoride stuff gives you Alzheimer's. So if it doesn't kill them, at least you'll have ants that don't remember where they got food at.
Yeah,
because
they
have
don't know
Alzheimer's.
how to get back home.
Right. Or they don't know how to get back to your house. So yeah, if you get Alzheimer's ants that are dying of cancer, I guess you could really take a hold of your problem.
I think you're right.
A fellow tech told customers that Onslaught was organic. That's by Tony T.
Yeah, no.
Now, I used to have to do services at a major retail store with a big red circle and a dog with the big red circle on his eye. Mm-hmm. Target, should I say. Target.
Spugsma. Oh, crap. What's the name of that dog?
You're thinking the Budweiser dog. That's Spuds McKenzie.
That's why I was saying it, because it's the wrong dog.
Spuds McKenzie?
Yes, Spuds McKenzie. Yeah.
But they had organic stores. And when you'd go there, you could use certain things. And if you had to use something else, you had to just write it down and justify why you used it. But people are like, oh, it's organic. That means it's safe for my dogs and my kids. No, it's engineered to kill something just like the other stuff is. It just costs you more. So, as I said, I'll tell you what. You drink a cup of the organic stuff, and then drink a cup of and have your friend over there drink a cup of the other stuff. Let's see who dies first.
Yeah.
Organic? No, it still kills stuff. So you can tell me the organic stuff all you want, but no. The only thing that you could actually roll around in is that stuff, that natural stuff that you put in your backpack foggers for mosquitoes that smells like a hippie commune.
I'm trying to think of what you're talking about.
Is it Accentria IC3?
I haven't used it before.
Man, I mean, the first couple days you feel like you've cleared your chakras by the way your back of your truck smells, but after a while you get really tired of it. And I mean, it works great for, not great. It works good enough for mosquitoes and ticks and stuff, but you just keep it the regular stuff. I had customers halfway through last summer going, things were great until you put that smelly stuff out, and then I'm still seeing mosquitoes. I'm like, well, I can always go back to the old stuff. But yeah, that's that natural. But it is all natural. I mean, it's actually, it's FIFRA exempt, all natural, like oils and stuff like that. So yeah, I think you'd probably put it one of your little diffusers and, and clear your chakras or something.
Yeah. That's all one on here. Tony N. We had a babysitter, which we always love those, as people who fall around pointers, who always wanted to go no chemical approach to everything. I wanted to pick up my bottle one day, and she said, "Don't laugh at me," and instantly started laughing. She said, "I have ants in the kitchen, and I tried a couple things to get rid of them. I read they won't cross a chalk line, so I made a line, and they crossed it. Of course, I said, you cross the line, you die. Okay, you cross the line, you die, etc." This one's weird. She laughed and goes, "So then I tried to make a cap of sugar water and put it on the patio, thinking they would just go there and not come in. Did that work? No. Great. Now I have thousands of ants everywhere." No lie, they were coming everywhere at that point. I said, "You had a cocaine party in Miami for these guys. Of course they're going to tell their friends."
That's true. That's true. Here's one that was kind of baffling to me. It's not really a myth, but Clint M. said, "How about this? There was a service manager that told a 7A technician to toss rodent packs for bat control." No. I mean, agreed, they're flying rodents, but they eat mosquitoes.
They are technically rodents.
Yes, they are.
Well, if you throw them, they'll think it's a mosquito.
That's a big fucking mosquito. Talon G bait packs, toss packs. I mean, when I was little, I used to take a badminton racket. We'd throw rocks up in the air when the sun was going down, and the bats would follow it down to the ground, and we'd try to smack them with the badminton racket.
Oh, my God.
We got a couple of them. I mean, you can really launch them dudes if you hit them just right.
That's worse than people hitting carpenter bees with the damn, little poles and stuff like that.
Oh, but, I was a kid. I didn't know any better. But,
no.
But yeah, no, they're not going to go after bait packs. I do like some Talon G bait packs in inaccessible crawl spaces, though.
Yeah.
Man, I had a high school in Northern Virginia that had 2 additions, one built on either side, and they had this massive crawl space. And there was this closet door in the hallway that dropped down like it used to be an elevator shaft or something. Mm-hmm. And then it there's like a man portal. I can't say man. Is that gender non-specific manhole? Should I say like a body entry point? Maybe. Okay? It's a body entry point, and I'd chuck Talon G toss packs in there all the time. I'd come back the next week, all gone. But man, that place used to have massive mouse problems until I dumped almost an entire bucket of Talon G toss packs down there, and then they stopped having mouse problems.
They just had a bad smell issue, something dead in the walls.
Oh no, but remember they go out for water.
Oh yeah, they do go out for water. I forgot about that.
So it's all good. It's completely all good. They all go out for water. Oh, but yeah, I mean, there's other myths, but not a myth, but it's what they used to do. Like my grandmother used to get boric acid powder and put it across the thresholds of her door to the outside hallway at the apartment complex she was in. Mm-hmm. And under the sink, and the stuff was all over the place. And I always wondered what the hell she was doing. But I mean, boric acid powder works. It really does. But I never really understood why you put a King Kong line size of Coke across your door jamb.
No, I had one of my fellow techs in my company who was telling me this apartment complex had German roaches.
Right.
And he walks into the apartment, and sees like 3-inch lines of boric acid all throughout the apartment. And he's like, I can't really treat in here with all that everywhere because he's going to step in it, get all over himself, all of that. Like, this shit's everywhere.
Yeah, I was like that person that had that pounded dry on and put like under all their couch cushions and rugs and shit.
Oh my God.
And after the pesty thing from last week, I've been looking online at the crap that people try to sell, and there's this other company selling Termidor foam, like premise foam, but it's Termidor foam.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked them on their post, I said, "Are you just selling this to the general public?" And they won't answer me.
Well, I did a post, and I think I have the best line of the week.
Mm-hmm.
I posted a bottle of Ortho Home Defense, and I said $18.99 bottle of crap.
Oh yeah,
and
I commented on that one.
Commented on it. I can shit on your foundation and do a better job.
Yep.
And Brad replied to him, Jack, if you eat at Taco Bell an hour before the job, you'll get better coverage.
Yes, you will.
And he said, challenge accepted, Brad Harvey.
Yeah, that's true. That Ortho Home Defense, is that cypermethrin? I think it's cypermethrin. Or is that spectricide? Spectricide, cypermethrin. I think Bear Home Defense, is that?
It's basically the same thing. Apparently that's in Talstar, so...
Oh, pifenthrin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is, I use Talstar, but I use that one combination of other chemicals, and I don't just use that.
Yeah, they're probably giving it to you at like 0.02, which you might as well be, peeing on the foundation. But, no, and like spectricide, that's cypermethrin, which is low residual crap, and, that people with no PPE spraying their flowers and crap because they don't like the fact that a bee landed on it, and it's all that crap that nobody has any idea how to use. I used to go sit back in the aisle in like Home Depot or Lowe's and just listen to people in the pest control aisle. And just listen. And the stuff they'd say, well, if you use this, well, Grandma said if you use that, or, oh, this stuff works great. And
I'm going to start leaving my business cards in the pest control aisle at Home Depot and stuff.
Yeah, just sit it on the shelf.
Yeah. Just like put it right beside the bed bug stuff because like this shit's not gonna work. Yeah. You're just standing next to a guy who's looking at it, and you have the employee over there, so you're like, okay, I don't want to get in trouble. Hey man, take my card.
Mm-hmm.
This gets the shit. These guys, they got the good shit. Okay.
I remember when Dow was selling, I don't know if they still do or not, but they were selling the Hexagard termite bait stations at Lowe's and Home Depot. Because I think for a while, Home Depot was actually, their parent company was the same parent company of Whitmire and the Big Green Tea. For a while, I think it's another company now. That place has changed hands so many times. But
isn't that Wow Chemical that does those bait stations?
I think so. Wow, okay. Yes, Wow, or Duh.
Foul Chemical.
Yes. It's yeah. But look, I'm all for the extra little bit of comfort you get from seeing those termite stations around the house, and if you're doing it as a preventative measure, I can see how it might be okay. But if you're supposed to put them right around the drip line, away from the foundation, one every 10 feet. And now they have them that you only check them once a year, which I think is ridiculous. But they're pre-baited. I'm going to dig 2 holes in your front yard, 10 foot apart. I'm going to put your head in one, and I'm going to put a stake in the other. And I want you to tell me if you could smell that steak. See, it's a crapshoot. You got to figure that the stations are about 2 inches wide. the stations are about 2 inches wide, and just say you have a 200 linear foot house. That means you're putting, 20 stations? That's
something like that.
That's 40 inches? That's 8 inches short of 4 feet. So for a 200 linear foot house, you've got under 4 feet. You got 40 inches of coverage, basically. It's like playing the lottery, but neglecting to put a number in. You put 5 numbers in for a pick 6. And,
Jack, you were very popular tonight.
Yeah, it's not my phone. But I'm going to turn that on silent, though, because I don't want to hear it again. But, yeah, and I'm sorry. That many, 40 inches of coverage on a 200 linear foot home. The odds are they're going to go right past them and go straight to the foundation. So I never have been a big fan of termite base stations. I'm Centricon certified. I've installed stations. I do like the AG boxes because you put it right over the tube. See, it's kind of like, and I like the way you used to do it, where if you found termites in the sticks, you actually tapped them out into the top of the bait tube and guaranteed they had to eat their way out to get back to the colony. So they were automatically taking some. But now they have them. You only check them once a year. You could have termites working on your house for a year. And eastern subterranean termites, if you were to start them at one end of a 2x4, a normal colony of eastern subterranean termites will eat about 1 foot, complete foot of 2x4 on average for the amount of wood. Now, see, they go in between. I should have hit the cough button. They go between, they don't eat a whole chunk of wood starting at one end and like that, but just the same, it's what it amounts to. But you're just letting them run rampant on your house for a year before you go check your stations and go, oh, hey, there might be a little bit of something here. I don't agree with that either. So that's my rant. Sorry, had to rant.
So are you talking about the ones that are precautionary, the kinds that have the poisonous bait in them?
Though they used to have them where you had the wooden stakes in them, and then you'd go around once a month, take the cap off, scan the cap, and pull the thing up and check the wooden stakes. And if you had termites in them, you'd tap them out like a little Tupperware thing and put them in the top of the bait tube and put the bait tube back down in the station. But now they're pre-baited, and you'd check them once a year. So they could be, whatever's happened to them for a year. And, either they cover them with mulch and you can't find the damn things, or they're in an especially wet area and they push themselves out of the ground and you'd have no idea for 365 days.
Yeah, I guess so. We just started using those, so we just got certified, not the one that Wow Chemical does, but the other kind. Oh,
the bigger ones with the gray rings and the black caps on them?
Yeah.
I know what those are. Yeah, I'm familiar.
I just got certified with those, but I haven't installed them yet. We're just kind of doing those, for the customers who refuse to do. Yeah, who don't want the chemical treatment. Like, sure, fine. If you want this, you can do this.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm old school. You give me a full interior and exterior for termite work. I know they do this thing called EPLIT, which is exterior perimeter with limited interior treatment. But give me the old school, double void my block inside the basement, drill through the slab inside the foundation and do the outside trench and treat and everything. If I'm going to have a termite job done, I want it done all the way.
All the way, yeah.
Yeah. And I still have I think I got like a half gallon of chlordane in my basement in Virginia. So
yeah, so actually that's the next thing I wanted you to talk about was chlordane. So you use that?
I did not. I was there before. I was doing termite work before Termidor was even a thing. Mm-hmm. We were using Premise wettable powder. Imidacloprid, which I kind of like better. I like the wettable powder, the way it bonds ionically to the soil. I like it, and it had a longer lifespan in the ground than Termidor does, or at least when Termidor first came out did. Mm-hmm. I think Termidor, when it first came out, SC is at a cough again. Here's the button. Termidor is 7 years, I think, when they first came out with Termidor SC.
Not sure what it is now.
I think Premise or the generic imidacloprid, was 15 years, and I think chlordane was like 30. But back in the day, like the old school that are dead now, termite guys used to stir their tanks with their arms, and they'd have to get blood drawn and have their blood checked for the amount of stuff they had in their system, because that chlorpyrifos stuff never gets processed out of your system. It builds up in you. So they have to be checked. And I think part of the problem was urban renewal, where, you start digging around the foundation, 15, 20 years later, and you got guys down there in trenches slopping around in chlordane, which is, not good either. But, there's Dursban and all this other stuff too. But yeah, I'll tell you, chlordane's like liquid gold if you have it now.
Yeah, but it's illegal to use now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay.
I know that when they had when they were just getting rid of that stuff, when they were just phasing it out, you could buy it, and as long as you had it in stock before it was taken off the market, you could use it. And there was a place on the eastern shore of Maryland that bought like 8 pallets of Dursban, 8 pallets of it, and stored it at the pesticide distribution warehouse that I worked at. And when we do a delivery run, we'd like once a month we'd take a pallet out there, because that's what he wanted to do his jobs with. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, it was great stuff, but but then they get rid of stuff like diazinon, which I think a lot of people are shaking their head yes right now when I say diazinon. If you had an ant problem and you hit it with diazinon, you didn't have an ant problem for the rest of the year. Yeah. You didn't have to come back. Now, that stuff was fantastic, and they got rid of it because it works. So
it worked too good.
Yeah, worked too good, I think. Yeah, it's like cold medicine. I mean, I'm sure if they could find a vaccine for coronavirus, why can't they find a vaccine for colds? Because they're viral too. Not
enough money is being put into it.
Right, and they make more money off the cold medicine, which only works for a short period of time.
Yeah.
But, hey, Easter, down in your area, are you going to have the 17-year cicada brood come out this year, or when do you get it?
I think we do. Let me Google it real quick. Because I actually had a special thing for us to do today.
It's a cicada special on the Tales from the Crawl Space podcast. Man, I remember, while you're looking that up, I remember 17 years ago, I was around Columbia, Maryland area, and some of the older neighborhoods, like the newer neighborhoods, the ground had been turned over, and you didn't have them so bad because the ground had been, tore up, turned over, dug out, whatever, before 17 years prior. So you didn't have them there. But these older neighborhoods, oh my God, I could stand 3 foot away from you, and I would have to scream for you to hear me. Because there were so many cicadas. They were like flying, landing on your head, on your shirt, and on your face. And just loud all day. I mean, I had to use earplugs. It was that bad.
So we're not in the cicada boom. It actually skipped South Carolina this year, which I'm sure we'll have something. Like I'm so used to cicadas that it's just something I'm like kind of used to during the summertime. If you don't hear them, it's kind of unusual.
Well, the annual ones are fun. Have you lived through a 17-year brood that came out before?
I think I have. I just don't really remember it.
Well, I got to tell you, I mean, the annual cicadas, they can get annoying and you hear them, but this is like amplify it by 1,000. And that's how bad it is. It's, oh man. And I know Western West Virginia, like over towards Morgantown, had their brood about 2 to 3 years ago. And as I was driving out that way, man, I ran out of windshield washer fluid from the amount of them that were like splatting on my window as I was going down the highway. But people think, oh, you're going to come spray for these cicadas. Well, ma'am, they're not going to make a chemical that you use once every 17 years.
No.
And anything else we use, maybe I'm wrong, and if I am wrong, somebody let us know. But I defy you to find a pesticide that has cicadas on the label.
Yeah, no, I can't really think of anything. I mean, it's just, they're just kind of irritating, but they're not really. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, I honestly don't think there is a pesticide that professionals use that's labeled for cicadas. Like I said, if there is something, let us know. Comment on our posts, when I post that the show's up or whatever. Prove me wrong. I would love to know, honestly. But from my experience, I don't think there is something that goes for once every 17 years. And you have to explain that to people. Well, can't you just spray the stuff you have? No, I can't. I can't go killing stuff that's off-label. That's, the Department of Ag's probably sitting right around the corner just waiting for me to spray.
Yeah, like, yes, do it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Excellent.
Kill him.
Yeah, well, I tell you, people spraying, the roses for, the aphids and stuff. I mean, you can use 7 on, I don't know, what do you think 7 dust would work on cicada killers? I mean, cicadas, not cicada killers?
I guess it would.
Ooh, maybe the murder hornets will kill the cicadas.
Maybe so.
That'd be awesome.
I saw there's some documentary that's coming out for them, the murder hornets.
Yeah, I'm waiting for those.
It's all gritty, and it's all like, oh, the murder hornets are here. They're killing all the bees, which actually it is terrible how many bees they kill and how fast they can kill them.
Right.
But it's not going to be on this side of the coast for, what do you think, next 20 years? I mean, it's going to be a long time before they get out over here.
I don't think it'd be that long, but I think within my career we'll see them. Unless,
I definitely think, yeah.
Unless they're brought over with like interstate shipping and transit, like train or 18-wheeler, they could end up over here a lot quicker. Mm-hmm. But they could definitely end up here quicker. But I'm going to have my tennis racket in the back of the truck because as big as them things are, I'm going to smack the shit out of one just for fun.
Yeah.
And
I'm not looking terribly forward to having to kill them. It's like, all right, everybody's getting a bee suit now.
No, I don't think I'll get a bee suit. I mean, if I can deal with a big, huge nest of European hornets, I think I'll be all right with a murder hornet. I just want to see one. I want to sample. I want to kill one and keep it because I do that with all of them. I love stinging insect jobs. Everybody, I don't want to do it. Let me go. I'll do it. I love those. They're fun.
Do you have a room of everything you killed?
No. No. I left my big gigantic bald face hornet's nest down in the school system chemical room. I do have in my truck, I have cicada killers, European hornets, the female cicada killers, the big ones. I got one of those. I got a European hornets, which one of my coworkers had killed and gave to me. So, because I wasn't lucky enough to have a European hornet job last year, man, I was pissed. I wanted one.
I didn't even have a bald-faced hornet job last year.
Oh, man, this up here in Pennsylvania, man, we are silly with them. They are all over the place.
We have them. I just didn't have them. I mean, I had plenty of yellow jackets and paper wasps, but unfortunately I didn't have any. I kind of wanted to do one, but... Oh,
down in Virginia, we have velvet ants.
Yeah, we have them occasionally here, but...
The cow killers? Yeah.
Yeah, the cow killers, whatever you want to call them. I mean... And I tried to do the thing where you step on one, it makes a squealing noise, but it didn't do it. I think I stepped on it too fast. I was pretty upset.
You got to step slow and let them really feel it and scream.
Yeah, I want to go, because it goes, when you do it.
Can you do that noise again? Okay, that's good. That's Brad's mating call from now on. Yeah. I want to have you do that noise. But no, I was amazed when the first job I ever ran across was down in the Shenandoah Valley. And people have these like flagstone little pavers going through the yard, and they had like a little step down, like 4 steps. And man, there was like 5 or 6 of them, just how they kind of flit their wings when they walk around. Beautiful, beautiful red color, fuzz on them. And I knew exactly what they were. And, old lady's like, don't you get near them things, they hurt. Well, I know they hurt. I watched that YouTube video, that dude that gets stung by all that stuff. Man, he was rolling around after he let himself get stung by one of those. Ugh.
Yeah, one of those, I see it, I'm going to automatically kill it because I'm like, those things, I've never been stung by one, but I know they hurt like a motherfucker.
Yeah, they said the stinger in that thing is as long as its rear thorax when it comes out, so it really gets in there good.
Yeah, no, I don't want to deal with one of the, like, I'll kill them all day long. I love killing wasps, yellow jackets, hornets, anything like that.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
I take such great pleasure in it.
Yeah, me too. Those are my favorite. But, there's a lot of myths that, about stuff like I don't know, it's not really a myth, but I'll tell people, if you come across wasps or bees or hornets like that, stop running and stop flailing your arms. Mm-hmm. That's when you become a threat. Mm-hmm. Now, any pest control guy worth his salt will know that you can walk right up to a nest nice and easy, nice and slow, blow some dust in it or whatever you're using to go in to hit inside that nest, and just slowly step back a couple feet and just stand still. They'll fly right past you.
They don't know.
No, their eyesight ain't that great. Their smell is fantastic. But their eyesight's not that great. If you stand still, you might as well be a tree, as far as they're concerned. Mm-hmm. You start flailing around, you're a threat. But, I remember the old, this isn't a myth, but I got stung on the foot when I was really little. And my grandmother got meat tenderizer and made a paste out of it. Apparently the protein, the enzymes in meat tenderizer helped break down the protein in the sting because the sting went away. The pain and everything went away rather quickly. So there's a little tip for you. A little bit of water and meat tenderizer until it turns into a paste, like a thick paste, and put it on the sting and then put a Band-Aid over top of it and let it sit and let that enzyme work on the proteins in that.
Yeah, I guess it just breaks down the protein, makes it softer and...
Yep, sure does, and it helps. It does good for a sting. So
yeah,
not a myth though. But hey, whatever, it works.
Are you ready for wasp season?
Oh yeah, man. I've been. This whole winter season for rodents has been boring as shit.
Yeah, I'm ready to start killing some. I'm just ready to kill any apartments I have to go help out with.
Give me the good stuff.
Don't call me every week to. They keep coming back. They kind of do that. I'll put something as a residual out as much as I can, but buy a can of wasp spray. You see them, kill them.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, I love when once we are out of the woods when it comes to below freezing temperatures up here in Pennsylvania, we're going to start firing up our rigs on our trucks, and I love just cranking that thing up to turn the pressure up to like 200, 250. And turn that damn JD9 gun on Pinstream and just blow those nests apart, man. That's my favorite thing to do. I'll do before and after pictures.
Our termite guy says he used to do that with them.
Hell yeah, man. You get a good before picture and a good after picture. And you get all slick because there's, you're right at the tree line and these guys are flying around trying to get you because they're following the stream back. And you're like picking them out of the air when you're spraying them. That's the best part. It's...
I wish I got to do that. That sounds like so much fun.
It is so much fun. And next time I have to do it, when I get the rigs going, I'll get a video of it for you just so you can see it blowing the damn things apart. It's fun.
Okay.
It's good stuff. Well, I'll tell you.
I had one last thing for us.
Oh, yeah.
To bring up, the biggest pet mess of all is Pesty. I went on their website, and I was like, I want to look at their 1-star reviews.
Uh-huh.
All right. Christopher H. said, for my first application, the sprayer was defective, would not spray. Tried changing out the batteries, but that did not help. Ended up using my own pump sprayer. Love the concept, but customers need to receive a sprayer that is reliable and works. Mm-hmm. So I'm guessing this guy probably dumped the liquid into a sprayer that...
a non-labeled container.
That was not triple rinsed.
Right. Lovely.
The most concerning one, let me just find that one. It's a good thing it came with plastic gloves since it leaked all over my hands. This is, of course, because it stopped spraying. It stopped spraying less than 5 minutes after spraying. I transferred the product to a pump-up sprayer and finished.
Wow.
Sprayer worked for a couple minutes. Now I have a bag of pesticides I can't use.
Of course you do. Oh, yeah.
Give it a good old drink.
Mm-hmm.
Pour it in your cup, a little bit of ice, a little bit of, say, some Jim Beam, and just drink it right up.
That's like a pesty mojito.
Yeah.
Muddle some mint leaves in there from your ant from your ant treatment for your the mint, and muddle it up and make a little pesty mojito.
Mm-hmm.
Junk. That's all it is junk. But what's your show about next week? Uh-oh, he's not sure.
I'm not sure. I want to give myself one more week. So the next show, it will be about the pest control and media.
Awesome.
But this one. All right. This one I've been wanting to do for a little bit. We're going to go with kind of like a tips and tricks. Like, what should you keep in your truck?
Oh, yeah.
I think that's a good one. So, kind of the things that you as a pest control technician will have this out on the Facebook page, the Pest Control Humor Depot. What are your essentials for work? Like, what do you have to have that gets you for the day? Something you carry in your truck, like some toilet paper when you shit yourself, all that type of stuff we want to know.
So we're not specifically talking about the chemical that you use, but like the little things that you've learned on the job that make your life easier while you're out on the road?
Yeah.
Awesome. That's a good one.
Yeah, let's go with that one. I've been kind of thinking about the stuff I carry around, and little tips and tricks that I've learned that, how do you make your life easier? Because we're about to get into the busy season, so it's good to kind of know that for new techs who are out there. Kind of know the things that, make life a little less hard.
BC powder. Every time, every truck, BC powder. Don't leave home without it. I always keep a bottle of ibuprofen and allergy medicine with me, but we'll get to that next week. Awesome. Now look forward to it. That's going to be a good one. Do you have our phone number pulled up? Because I think we're neglecting somebody here.
Hello, Brad.
Ooh, hey.
This is Nick talking to you.
Yeah, baby.
I'm about to tell you that phone number. You haven't given it a call yet. I want you to call into it. Tell me about your tips and tricks.
He's got a tip for you. He's got a tip for you.
864-810-1216.
Yeah. Had to throw that mating call in at the end. That's awesome.
As soon as you said mating call, I'm like, okay, I got to say that for the end of the number.
That's great. That's going to have to be a ritual every show now, because that's the funniest damn thing. Well, look, we're on Instagram. We're at TFTC Podcast. On Twitter, we're at Crawlspace Tales. We're at Facebook.com/Tales from the Crawlspace. You'll find our stuff on Brad Harveys Pest Control Humor Depot. Nick has set up and runs a page on Reddit. It's reddit.com/Tales from Crawlspace.
Yep.
And that phone number that we have been so tingly listening to is what does it for us. So I think we had a good show, and Nick, I'm going to need you to sign us off.
All right, everybody. Well, I hope you have a great week. Be safe out there. Definitely. And bug the hell off.
Bug off. See ya. Thanks for listening to Tales from the Crawlspace podcast. You can find us on just about every single podcast outlet there is online. So be sure to subscribe, and we'll have a new episode next week. Don't forget, you can find us on Instagram at TFTC Podcast, on Twitter at Crawlspace Tales, and you can also find us on Facebook at the Pest Control Humor Depot. See you next week.